I was wondering, I guess this would be a question maybe for everyone, with music. I don't know if you noticed I like to work out a little bit, but the music choice, when you're going and you're putting yourself in your car or at the gym or anywhere in life, how does what you listen to affect your vibration? Because I like to sample the whole smorgasbord, whether it's happy, sad, angry, and re-examining my life and things. I'm not quite sure how the lower end of the contrast would affect me vibrationally in my life, only in the sense that your feelings as you put them out, it's almost like tossing a pebble out into the sea. So when you're letting yourself go there.
Are you in a position that you could play the music that you usually play at the end now? Would you play it for just a little bit? This is a new piece of music that some dear friends have put together. And Esther wants you to hear it and listen to it in light of what you were just saying. She's saving it for the end, but she wants you to feel it. Louder. 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 A lot of moods there. There is nothing that moves your energy faster than music. And if someone has written it from a place of alignment, as this was written, and you are near a place of alignment when you begin receiving it, it moves you. Now, everyone has a different idea of what they like in terms of music. There's a lot to choose from. But when it has been written from a place of alignment and you are in a place of alignment, then it moves you. Now, Esther, she plays that over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And it moves her higher and 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 higher. She's not certain there is an end to the euphoria that she will feel as she plays it again and yet again. She has not found an ending to it. She has not found a place to be tired about it yet, you see. Sometimes when you put a piece of music on, the music has been written from a vibrational place that is not in alignment with like that was, but it is resonant with something that someone is feeling. Someone who is feeling depressed or discouraged or lonely. So when you play that music, if it resonates with you, then it's an indication of where you are. And if it's just beyond where you were, in other words, the benefit of music, if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would always be reaching for the music that takes us a little beyond where we are, not music that resonates with right where we are. That's the thing Esther likes about that piece. It starts out, it's pleasant enough, and it builds, and it takes her higher and higher, and then just when she thinks she can't take any more, it sort of settles into a softer place and gives her another chance to take her breath. And sometimes, if you're listening to a lot of music, you're enjoying the pathos of it. In other words, you're enjoying the ride up and down the emotional scale of it, you see. But don't you find that if you are listening to music on a regular basis, that the music that you are drawn to is the music that always leaves you feeling better than you felt when you first began it?
Absolutely.
And that's the way we would utilize it. That's the way we would understand it. We would also understand, we really want you to understand, that everyone with whom you are co-creating is vibrating somewhere. They're somewhere in vibrational relationship to the source within them. And we want you to understand that the vibrational variance between the source within them and the source within you, the source within that one and that one and that one and that one and that one, is not that great of a variance. So when someone has tuned into something and they have found that higher frequency, and then you are looking at the piece of art that they created, or reading the book that they have written, or looking at the painting or the sculpture, or listening to the music, they have imbued their article with the vibration of that which they were feeling. And you have only one question: where does this fit in the vibrational scheme of my life experience? We would ask one question when we would play any song. Esther has several favorite stations programmed into each of her vehicles, and she is punching those buttons all over the place because this song takes her higher, this song's dipping a little, let's look for another one. In other words, she will not tolerate for 5 seconds one that's taking her into a place lower than where she was. So where does that lead to? Are the artists of the world capable of producing more and more and more for you? And more important, do you have the ability to attract to you whatever you are needing? And even more important, does it always have to come through music? Or can it come through this and this and this? Just a little basis there. Now, what exactly were you getting at?
It was more of putting myself in danger of beating the drum of something that I didn't know I was beating. Because you say we all have these set vibrational patterns. If I'm listening to a music that is not as high as, say, Esther's, am I beating a drum that's bringing something back to me that I don't necessarily want?
We wouldn't look at it as detrimental in the sense that a short listen would have any devastating effect on you, but we would care about the mood that music produces. And we would want to move from love and appreciation to exhilaration. We would reach for that high standard in all things. We would reach for it in the movies that we watch and in the people that we have conversations with, in the books that we read. We would reach for it in everything. We'd spend no time objectively examining the earth for content. We would vibrationally set a tone and ask that the content that matches our tone be given to us. That's what you said when you came forth. You did not say, I'll come into this physical environment and I'll just take what's around. And you did not say, I will objectively observe everything so that I will be a really fair and balanced person. You said, I'll come into the environment and I'll feel my way through it. And I'll reach for the highest frequencies that I can find. Don't you find that often with music, that something will ring your bells for a while and then it doesn't ring quite so much as you sort of settle into it? And that's not because the music is not wonderful, and it's not because it's not productive for someone. But what it does mean is it's not up to speed with the new place that you have now reached to, you see. Music is, well, it would be right to say it about everything, but we want to especially say it about music. It is a living, breathing, expanding entity, much like yourself. And it would be a really easy way for you to co-create with the artists of the world, just by saying, I know who I am and I know what I'm reaching for, and universe, please bring me the next step and the next step and the next step and the next step. So now, this is important. Let's contemplate this. Some of you are feeling a little confused by this conversation, so we want to bring it around to something that is really meaningful for you. Do you think that what we're saying is find a piece of music and use it to bring your vibration up? Or are we saying identify what your vibration is and expect that music to prove it, to acknowledge it, to amplify it? In other words, we would use music and everything else that is coming to us as our evidence of our current vibrational frequency. And this is what all this rambling is leading to. You got to constantly be on the move for something more. It's why nothing stays number one on the charts for very long. That's why the albums that you play don't please you decade after decade. It's why it's always the new that you're reaching for. So what it is evidence of your point of attraction. So can you hear the reverse of what this conversation seemed to start out as? It seems to say, should I look for music in order to set my tone? And we're saying, no, set your tone and let the music help you acknowledge where your tone is. Let the feeling that is amplified with the music help you to understand where your tone is. Yeah. The reason that we're stubbornly milking this conversation beyond your interest is because you're in the process of figuring out what you're doing vibrationally. It really is the point of the question that you are putting to us. We think that there is no better way for you to acknowledge the vibration of your being than to let it reflect back to you through something obvious like the vibration of music. Everything is vibrating, but the things that come to you through sound and the way the sound moves you. Esther has nice vehicles, and in every one of them, the first thing she wants to know is how to turn the bass up on the stereo system, because she wants that rhythm of that music to change the rhythm of her being. And we say it's different than she thinks it is. She wants it to match the rhythm. She wants that central place to be there, and then she wants all of the other liveliness to dive in around it, you see. You're vibrational beings, and music will let you understand what your vibration is faster than anything else. And music will lead you to the emotional nature of your being faster than anything else. It will help you know. You'll feel yourself musically faster than almost anything else. And it's because it gives you a strong point of focus. And usually you'll stay there long enough that you'll be moved or you won't. And we'd like to say one more thing. We think there are far too many love gone bad songs in this world. And far too many I can't get it right songs in this world. And far too many poor me songs in this world. And if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would teach the music industry what kind of music you really want, you see.